Hey, if one day the heavens handed you the power to cherry pick one ability from any creature on Earth, what would you go for? Soar like a bird to ditch the gridlock? Bulldoze through life like a lion so nobody dares push you around? Regrow limbs like a gecko so accidents never put you out of commission? Outlive everyone like a tortoise so you'd finally have a fighting chance of getting through those movies you bookmarked 3 years ago and never once touched? Or some people even want to sprout cat ears and a cat tail just to lean into the whole adorable aesthetic. Sounds wildly tempting. But from the perspective of someone who genuinely geeks out over psychology and biology, I sat down and really chewed on it, and stumbled onto a rather brutal truth. Most animal abilities, once grafted onto a human body, don't land nearly as hard as we picture them. It's like hitting the jackpot on an expensive prize, tearing it open, and finding an ancient printer with zero ink. Looks the part on the outside, but the moment you actually put it to work, the misery kicks in. The first thing most people's minds jump to is almost certainly the brute power of apex predators. Tiger claws, lion fangs, crocodile bite force. Sounds like the stuff of nightmares, in the best way. But what on earth would you actually do with any of that in the modern world? We're not out here living in prehistoric times, stepping out of a cave, clocking a deer in the distance and thinking, well, there goes tonight's dinner. We're operating inside a society held together by laws, surveillance cameras, penalty notices, and neighbors who will absolutely whip out their phones and film everything. You could sport claws 20 centimeters long and still not be able to slash someone mid-argument on the street. That's not evolution. That's a one-way ticket to the courtroom. Real power doesn't hinge on whether you can floor someone with your bare hands. It hinges on which tools you can actually operate. A tiger's claws are the stuff of nightmares, but it can't drive a car, can't navigate a smartphone, and certainly can't pull up a food delivery app. Meanwhile, an ordinary person who'd get smoked in a foot race by the neighbor's dog can, armed with nothing but a pair of nimble hands and a functioning brain, throw up buildings, shoot rockets into orbit, muscle excavators through construction sites, and order bubble tea at midnight. So if I were handed the abilities of an apex predator, I wouldn't reach for the fangs or the claws. Because humanity already has something that blows those out of the water. It's called hands wired to a brain. Some more pragmatic people would zero in on the ability to discharge electricity like an electric eel, or knit tissue back together like an axolotl or gecko. Also sounds pretty badass, right? Picture this. You stride into the office, your boss corners you. Where's the report? You just raise your hand. Electricity crackles through the air and the entire room shuts up cold. Nobody breathes a word about the report anymore. But what would reality actually look like? Electric eels are built for underwater living. Their bodies wrapped in specialized insulating tissue to shield themselves. But drop that same ability into a human navigating a city, and it instantly flips into a catastrophic liability. You'd be walking on eggshells, shaking hands with your partner, riding elevators, charging your phone. The moment your emotions boil over and you lose the plot for just a second, you'd go from person with a remarkable gift to subject requiring immediate containment. A powerful ability without a compatible environment and the infrastructure to manage it isn't a gift. It's a disaster sitting in the wings. And the ability to knit back limbs like an axolotl? In medicine, this is the stuff of grand dreams. But at the individual level, this ability only pulls its weight when something truly catastrophic befalls you. And nobody's out here rooting for catastrophe. Nobody at a wedding suddenly pipes up. Everyone clear the floor. Watch me regrow a hand I lost in an accident, just for the laughs. It's like shelling out a fortune for a top-of-the-line life jacket with one catch. You have to drown first before you get to use it. And if we venture into darker territory, in a world that's far from perfect, if you carried a body capable of unlimited self-regeneration, would you truly walk free? Or would you quietly become a sitting target, a biological resource that shadowy interests would set their sights on? Being extraordinary doesn't always open doors. Sometimes it just paints a target on your back. What about outlasting everyone like a tortoise? This one has real appeal. Who wouldn't want more time on the clock? More time means more runway. To stack wealth, fall headfirst into love, roam the world. But the real question is, what kind of long life are we actually talking about? Tortoises rack up hundreds of years because their metabolic rate runs at a crawl. Heart rate sluggish, whole lifestyle engineered around burning as little energy as possible. If you bolted that biological machinery onto a human being, you wouldn't be a sharp, vibrant person cruising through 150 years. You'd be someone permanently mired in a fog of grogginess, drowsiness, and sluggish reflexes for over a century. A long life only pays off when the quality holds up. If you tack on an extra 50 years but drag yourself through every single day exhausted and checked out, that's not longevity. That's just leaving a computer stuck on its loading screen indefinitely. And what about taking to the skies like a bird? This is the pinnacle of the romantic fantasy. Who wouldn't want to break free and wheel through open sky, leaving rush hour traffic choking in the dust below? But to haul a human body weighing 50 to 70 kilograms off the ground, the biological architecture would have to foot an enormous bill. Your bones would need to hollow out into a porous structure just to shed enough weight. Your chest muscles would need to balloon outward to crank out enough force for wing beats. And critically, to trim weight during flight, bird digestive systems are engineered for ruthless efficiency. Wolf it down, process it fast, and jettison the waste quickly to stay airborne. And that's before you factor in the moment you push too high. The air pressure drops away, oxygen thins to nothing, you black out mid-flight, and your body enters freefall along a textbook-perfect parabolic arc. At that point, you're no longer a bird person, you're a live projectile motion problem. It turns out, when humans fantasize about animal abilities, what we're really chasing isn't to become them. We just want to skim off the most dazzling part of what they can do and quietly dump all the inconvenient baggage. We want a premium package, handcrafted for human use. But here's what's worth sitting with. The most extraordinary thing about humanity is that we don't need to sprout wings to outfly birds. We built airplanes. We don't need to grow claws to overpower tigers. We forged industrial machinery. And we don't need a dolphin's hardwired navigation system. We engineered sonar. This entire field of science even has a name: biomimicry. We study nature, extract its underlying principles, and channel our intelligence into building tools that replicate them. So if I were handed one animal ability to claim as my own, I wouldn't reach for anything that flexes physical strength or bends the laws of physics. I'd go after the ability to feel the environment the way animals tune into it. The razor-sharp instincts of birds, picking up on the faintest shifts in weather patterns and magnetic fields. The ability of cats to lock onto frequencies that sail completely over human heads. Or the olfactory precision of dogs, capable of unpacking millions of layered scents stacked on top of each other. As for sprouting cat ears and a cat tail just to lean fully into the cute aesthetic, that falls into a completely different league of ability altogether. If anyone's seriously in the market for that conversation, slide into my DMs and we'll pick it up from there.